Guys, today we've got some huge new release updates. YEEZY releasing an entire new boot line, and why is China suddenly taking over everything? Welcome to Sneaky Sunday. Quick release recap. Who got the Levi's Jordans? These seemed pretty easy to get. Like, there was a ton of pairs. I saw a lot of people getting these things. Let me know which one you got. On the flip side, nobody got the freaking Pharrell jellyfish. They dropped the black and the blue colorways, and they were so hard to get. So if you managed to grab a pair, massive W. It seems like there was hardly any pairs. But getting into the upcoming stuff, and the first story I want to talk about is pretty massive, and that is basically just China taking over. And I'm gonna put my glasses on for this one. So unless you've been living under a rock, you probably have not been able to escape this jacket. This is the Chinese New Year jacket from Adidas. It went absolutely viral. Now I'm using this as one example of Chinese fashion or Chinese sneakers breaking into the Western market and taking over. But we've got a lot of examples of this, and I think the biggest story is gotta be the fact that Anta just bought Puma. That's right, Puma is now Chinese, and apparently most people missed it. Actually, I missed it because I didn't know Anta was literally the third largest sportswear brand. So take a look at this. Anta, obviously a Chinese company, has now bought up so many of these brands that you probably didn't even know was now Chinese. Solomon, Arc'teryx, Fila, there's a bunch of other ones in here, and now Puma being one of the bigger ones. Now, Puma has been struggling for a while, so Anta coming in and buying them hopefully changes things up. Now, to be more specific, they just bought a massive stake, so like, I think it was 29% stake in Puma, so they didn't completely, buy up the entire company, but they are now the largest shareholder of Puma. They're actually winning in China, so literally they commanded 23% of China's sportswear market, surpassing both Nike and Adidas. And based on market valuation, they actually are third globally. That's behind Nike and Adidas. And that's based off of Anta's $28 billion valuation. Now, this China takeover isn't just Chinese companies buying Western ones. We're seeing it in so many different aspects of trends and people just opting for Chinese products overall. Here's a crazy graph when it comes to fast fashion and how China plays a role in that. Look at all of these different brands. You've got like some of the most notorious ones, H&M, Zara, Uniqlo, Gap, but look at Shein, obviously a Chinese company. It triples H&M and Zara, which is staggering, showing like people are really interested in buying Chinese products. And it really just seems like China is entering each and every category when it comes to sneakers and fashion. Obviously, they're largely known as the place that makes the knockoffs for everything, and a lot of people are going towards knockoff stuff instead of luxury goods, especially when it comes to Gen Z. We got this article over here saying China's Gen Zers love knockoffs. Luxury retailers regret their big bet. And it basically just goes into how specifically Gen Z is opting for knockoff products rather than luxury designer stuff. One of the biggest trends happening right now in the running shoe market is that the Chinese shoes are dominating. Products from Anta and Li Ning are shoes that a lot of people are opting for over some of the other stuff from obviously Nike, Adidas, and the biggest competitors in that space. This is a pretty big shift because now Chinese brands are creating some of the most competitive performance running shoes. We've got 4 of the, I guess, flagship best ones from Li Ning, the Red Hair 9 Ultra, the Anta Zone 2, the Dynafish Xiaonian, the Fidian 5 Ultra, and a lot of people are going for these. And then more recently, there's a really interesting shift in sneakers where there was a lot of products that Nike and Adidas made specifically for the Chinese market, but now they're bringing all of those products over for global releases. Obviously, like I started this segment off of the Chinese New Year jacket. That was a big one that was originally only available in China. It's now released globally and completely sold out. Nike has this model, which a lot of people are going crazy for, the Nike ST Charge, which is an affordable outdoor basketball shoe. And this was available in China, but now Nike, it seems like they're looking to launch this globally. Probably just because it's been going so viral. But this is a little look of it here. It looks great, so I don't understand why they wouldn't launch this globally. This looks like a Yeezy colorway. And then obviously Adidas has had a huge catalog of Chinese exclusive sneakers that they've now been bringing over to the global market, like the XLG line, the Adistar XLG 2.0, the Jellyfish lookalikes. Those were available in China way before they became available everywhere else. The Jellyfish is largely based off of a lot of those chunky retro runners that has been popular in China for the longest time. And all of these different stats and trends really come together to show that China is taking over. Let me know your thoughts on this, and if you've tried any Chinese brands, and what are your thoughts? Do you think that they're making great quality products and people just want the best for affordable prices? I don't know, it just seems pretty damn crazy, but let's keep it moving. Represent has just updated their classic Owners Club range, and for the first time ever, I can offer you a sneaky little discount for being part of the channel. At this point, we all know the Represent Owners Club. Comfortable, premium quality, a staple. And the new micro range keeps everything we loved about that, but just makes it more clean and minimal. Instead of the large prints, you now have micro rubberized logos. I love the look of it, especially on the darker pieces where it just subtly pops out. It comes on all of the staple pieces like the cuff joggers, t-shirts, and hoodies, all of them made from 100% cotton with a super soft touch premium fabric, which of course makes them just incredibly comfortable, something that you just don't want to take off. But there's a new piece which I'm a huge fan of, and that is this track jacket. I've owned almost every Represent track jacket, and this one has to be the most comfortable. It's a lighter, softer, and just something I could daily. It's got a really nice silhouette and just joins the rest of the micro range as just perfect everyday options for your wardrobe. Now, as you know, Represent has been a long-time supporter of the channel, so I went and asked them if I could get a special code for you guys. They actually said yes. So for the first time ever, if you use my code ELLIOTREP at checkout, you get 20% off your order. This isn't gonna last long, so make sure you take advantage of this while it lasts. Thank you to you guys for always using my links when I have them. It helps out the channel massively. Huge thanks to Represent for sponsoring this video, but let's get back to it. Right, moving on to some other upcoming releases. I think the first one that is, I guess, the most pressing for most people has to be the Fragment Air Jordan 1, which is going to be releasing very, very soon now. Now, we obviously know that they did their original launch, which was through Union's website. However, that was just wave 2. There's going to be a much wider release, which is happening on the 27th of February. Now, obviously, it's loaded up to the Nike sneakers app. There's a bunch of different raffles that are available now. So if you want this pair of shoes, highly recommend going to enter. However, you might get stopped because apparently they've all been backdoored already. We got this post over here showing off, I don't know, this is some resale store that is just cooked on pairs. They have them all. I don't know what place had their back door open, but this is crazy. Look at how many pairs they have. This is mad. So this is actually District 1, which I believe is based in New York. I think I went there recently, but yeah, they've got both colorways, just hundreds of pairs by the looks of it. So I don't know what that means for the main Nike sneakers release or where they got these pairs from. Maybe they got them from Union or Fragment. Either way, good luck on the sneakers drop. Another drop happening around the corner is the Jordan 4 Lakeshow, another all-star weekend release that happened as like a limited launch, but it is formally going to be dropping on March the 7th for you guys out in the US. For everywhere else in the world, I believe these are going to be dropping on Monday. That is February the 23rd. So if you're after these things, I don't think it's going to be the hardest pair of shoes to get, but I do think it is one of the nicest pairs of Jordan 4s to release in a long time. Speaking of Jordan 4s, let's just talk about every single Jordan 4 that's dropping here in 2026. We've got an entire lineup of every Jordan dropping, so I thought we should briefly go through this just so you know if you're after 4s this year, which one you should prioritize. This one is probably going to be the most popular, the Jordan 4 Nigel Sylvester sale release. These are going to be dropping May the 9th. That one is just a must cop. It looks beautiful. We've got some solid retros over here with the Tor Yellow and the Toro Bravo. Both of those are returning pretty soon. We recently got news that the Breads, the OG Breads, are going to be returning this full season for Black Friday. Now, this is going to be the one with the regular suede, no, reimagining like they did on the last release. We've got a Bin 23 version of the Jordan 4 also dropping. You will remember they just did that on the Jordan 6s. I think there's a Jordan 3 as well coming, but this is going to be a December 26th release. Super premium, super expensive, and super limited. Very intrigued to see what the Air Jordan 4 London looks like. That's a full release. And then we've got a comic book version of the Jordan 4, which I think is also going to look pretty cool. Obviously, the Lakeshows, this pink denim one, April 23rd. I'll be good on passing on those. We've got a Pink Thunder Jordan 4 for Halloween. This is a mock-up of potentially what the Birds of Paradise retro might look like. Valentine's 4 is already dropped. I believe these already dropped as well. This was a kids version. Flight Club's already dropped, and then there's another kids version over here. But yeah, that is all of the Jordan 4s we're going to be getting in 2026. So let me know if you could only pick one, which one you're choosing. I think the most anticipated release for the entire year, and I know it's only only February, but we already know it. It's the freaking Virgil Abloh Archive Air Jordan 1 Alaska. We've got official images and a release date. March the 28th is when these are going to be dropping, right around the corner, and these are the official images. It is happening, guys. This is real. It almost seems unbelievable, but this is actually going to release. So here's all of the details. The main difference being, or the main differentiating factor between this and the Euros that dropped in 2018 is this text on the medial side saying VAA for Nike instead of Off-White for Nike. Got some more detailed shots, and then this is a little look at the packaging, which we have already been over, but yeah, those are your updates. We've got official images, everything's ready to go. They are going to be hard to get though. Not just is the demand insane, but they're going to be very limited. This one's kind of out of nowhere, very unexpected, but CPFM and Nike are finally going to drop the Air Flea 1. This is a pair of shoes that you probably thought had already released. This one over here, but it was actually cancelled due to sizing issues, and then they dropped the Grinch one instead. It looks like they finally fixed it. I don't know what really was the problem, but they're going to be releasing this and a new black colorway. It's so random that they're doing this, like going back to the one, they've already dropped the Air Flea 2s. It kind of makes sense if they just skipped this one and just went to the 3s, but yes, we are getting a release this holiday season. Let me know if you're going to be after these. It almost feels like every single year now we're getting the Air Max 95 Neons, but they're returning again on March the 5th. I don't know why. Nothing really in terms of like changes. It's just going to be exactly true to the original, except this one's going to have the big bubble, which we've been seeing, and yeah, that's about it. A little bit of an update for the Air Jordan 1 Royal, which is going to be returning October the 10th. So we've now got a release date, but we also now know that it's not going to be the 85 version, which I think we all thought was going to be dropping because we saw like some leaks and rumors of that. It's actually going to come in the regular Jordan 1 construction. It almost seems like Jordan Brand is pivoting away from the 85 cut recently. We just got our first looks at the upcoming Tom Sachs general purpose shoe, which is now coming in full leather, which is interesting. So maybe it's going to retail for a little bit more. Obviously, it was a very affordable shoe, but now that Tom Sachs and Nike are back together, back to releasing a bunch more products, we've got a new version, which at least is, I guess, something different. This was an extremely popular model. I don't really know what's going on with Tom Sachs and Nike at this moment. They did the 3.0s, but we're waiting to see the full rollout of a bunch more products, and it seems like this one's going to be the first. Nike's dropping a very interesting collaboration with Homecoming Festival. This is on the Air Max Plus, and it looks cool. It's basically based off of Lego's culture. We've got two different colorways. The laces are wild. In fact, I really like the way that these things look. Like, they're definitely different from a regular pair of Air Max Pluses, and I'm here for it. These are the official images, and both of them are going to be dropping April 2026. Nike's also dropping a GT Future with the Galaxy print. This one's a little bit different. So these are going to be dropping March the 30th, and boy, do these look wild. This is bringing back that Foamposite energy to, I guess, the updated Foamposite is kind of what we're referring to the GT Futures as. This is pretty dope. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. But I do think one of the more interesting things from Nike is going to be their V5 Runner collaboration pack. So this is an actual look of what we're getting. So we originally thought it was just going to be an Imam and Yer collaboration, but it's a Whitaker group collaboration, meaning every one of the Whitaker group retailers is going to get their own specific colorway. So you got Imam and Yer with two different ones at the top over here. You've got APB with a very nice colorway. Social Status, Jade gets two colorway. Actually, Social Status gets two colorways as well. So a bunch coming out of the Whitaker group. The V5 Runner is one of my favorite Nike shoes. I absolutely love this thing, and I love that we're getting collaborations on it because I feel like that's just going to get people to experience this pair of shoes. You know, all of the people that only buy collabs, they're going to be able to experience how affordable and how comfortable these things are. These should be dropping relatively soon. I wonder if they're going to be exclusive to each of these stores, but I hope not. I hope this is just globally available. Speaking of affordability, Adidas is going to be dropping an affordable version of the AE1, the Anthony Edwards shoe, or I guess it's the AE2, whatever. It's an Anthony Edwards affordable model. This is pretty interesting because the AE1 and 2 was already pretty affordable, but this is now going to come in at just $100 for adult pairs, and I think about $80 for kids pairs. We've got two different colorways over here, which does look very similar to the AE1. There's not much change except for the midsole, and it seems like they're going for a little bit more of like a casual lifestyle approach with this. These are going to be dropping June 2026, and I imagine they're going to become pretty popular. Dreamstrike Strike, I don't think is the softest foam, at least in the versions that they've released of that foam through Adidas. I've tried it. It's not my favorite, so I'm hoping this is a little bit of a different material so that it's actually soft and comfortable. We'll have to wait and see. Either way, interesting move. Speaking of interesting moves, Adidas just dropped their Adi frame. This is the football shoe made for casual wear. It's insane. It is literally a football boot, but instead of having the spikes, you've got the spikes encased in like some kind of, I don't know, rubber material. This cannot be comfortable. You have zero cushioning on here. But this is an actual pair of shoes that you can go and buy, at least for you guys out in the US. I don't know if they're available globally, but they dropped for $180 on the 17th of February. I need one of you guys to go pick these things up and tell me what you think of them. If they're actually good, what do they feel like on foot? Because this just seems insane. Right, let's talk about these new YEEZY Boots, because this is pretty exciting. At least if it does actually happen, because we just got some looks at an entire new YEEZY boot, which has just been teased on the website. So here's a little look at the first one. We've got it over here, which, I mean, first off, these things look insanely cool. I would definitely wear these. There's two different colorways. There's this one and then this one over here. We can get a little closer look. It's in camel and brown. We don't have like a name for this YEEZY model yet, this YEEZY boot. But again, just like some of the other YEEZY boots that we've been seeing, is on the website being worn by these models, but hasn't officially released as a product yet. So here's a look at all of the different boots that YEEZY is apparently working on to release. There's this one. This is the latest one, both in brown and tan. Then we've got this one, which we spoke about a while ago. This one looks a little bit more like the insulated boot that Ye dropped with Adidas back in the day. Then we've got the 950s, which apparently is going to be returning at some point without Adidas, obviously, just through Yeezy.com. We got these crazy things. They're like giant foam boots. This kind of looks like what's currently available on the website, the SL03. It's again another big foam boot. These things, which Ye has been wearing, and so have the models on the website. I don't know what the hell this is. But honestly, I feel like before you release any more boots, YEEZY, ship mine. Ship the SL03s from last year or something. I've been waiting a damn year for those things. Honestly, I think YEEZY brand releasing more boots is definitely going to be a pretty cool thing, because I always thought from like the boots from YEEZY brand were some of the coolest shoes. I love the yellow ones. I love the insulated boots. The regular desert boots are also great. Those seem like some of the craziest designs that came out of Adidas and YEEZY. And there's so many different boots in the archive. I feel like YEEZY brand moving into that sector would be great. But for right now, all we have is this $100 boot on the website. We'll probably see more. It looks like we've got an entire boot line ready to drop from YEEZY. But there you have it, guys. That wraps it up for this week's Sneaky Sunday. Don't forget, we do this every single Sunday. So if you want to stay in the loop with all of the latest stuff going on, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And like always, I'm going to leave another video in the top left-hand corner. Click on it to check it out.